Happy 420, everyone. Hopefully you're well, and your week is going good as planned, and hopefully you're doing what you got to do to get busy and stay grinding. Being affected is 420. I would like to share with you a little weed story that stuck with me throughout years because it has tripped me out. Check this out. This was with when I was with the mother of my son. Now we would go out for walks here and there at times. Now this was before my son was born, right? Just putting it out there like that. So when me and the mother of my son one day went out for a walk, on this typical day, I didn't have a lot of video on me. It was like less than like $15 that I could remember. And at this time, I kind of was not smoking, or wasn't smoking for a few days. But it was one of those days where I was like, man, I wish I could have I wish I could have a hit. And along those lines, I was trying to figure out on how to get weed, right? And last thing I want to do, and that's the thing that last thing that I think of having in my mind is like asking for a favor, asking for feria, or asking a handout in some sort of way. I'm not like that. So if I can't get something done, or if I can't get it, it's not gonna happen at all. I just take it as a loss and move on the next day, type of thing. You know what I mean? And not dwell on it. But in this typical day, I kind of wanted a hit, right? So being the fact that I had no failure really on me, and I was walking with the mother of my son, she had to use the restroom. So I'm like, all right, I know this spot close by where you could use the rest, go in, we could go in, use the restroom, and be on our way. All right, so we did that. Now in this restaurant that we went to, when you want to go into the restrooms, you go into a door, and then it's a room, an empty room, and in this room you got a right on the left side there's a door, on the right side there's a door. Left side and right side there's a door. One being a girl, one being a male. So as she goes and doing her thing, she goes into the female. I'm outside just waiting in that room, right? Thinking, how can I make this happen? How can I give me some greens? Without asking or no favors or nothing like that. I shit you not. Like a few minutes as I'm thinking about this and as I'm being there, a guy walks into that room, older male, uh, clothes of course, but he didn't look, let's say, homeless type of thing, but he had a bag, right? Looked like a gym bag. Boom, boom. In the period, he had something in there. So he walks in. He looks at me. Then he goes like, "Hey, do you by any chance know anybody who would like to buy some weed?" And then and I'm like, he opens up the bag, nothing but weed in there. And then he goes and gets his hand, goes in the bag, gets a handful, and it's all like, "I'll give you all this for $5." And I'm like tripping out because I'm like, what the? And I'm like, for you give me all that for $5. He's all, yeah. And I'm like, man, I had a little bit more fatty. Man, I'll give you a little bit more if you give me a little bit more from what you had. Then it's like he saw that. Of course, I showed him the little money. He's like, hey, let's make this happen. Blah blah blah. We made the transaction because I'm tripping now. It happened. He's happy because he's getting his fatty. So he gets him. He goes out. I have all this weed on my hand. You know what I mean? Because he gave it to me. There's nothing I could wrap it with. So I'm right here waiting, not waiting for the mother of my son outside in that room with a lot of weed in my hand. She comes out, and then I just look at her, and she looks at me, and looks at my hand. She's like, "How the did that happen? How did that happen? How did you get all that? I thought you had no money." And I'm like, "Well, I told her what happened, but trip on this though. I mean, yeah, he had a bag full of weed, right? But for me, it looked like he went to a certain guard. Like he knew like a certain field to hit, or he came from a certain distance, maybe. You know what I mean? Like he was traveling maybe like on a train or something. Just one of the spots he just hits. But since the whole bag was full of weed, but it was like plants, like already grown, but it had those nugs on it. But I could tell it was not like fully dry type of thing. Like it was still kind of like not too wet, but I mean those that know about it. You know what I mean? So, but either ways, I was like, man, this is like an answered prayer at the moment from what I was thinking about, and it just tripped me out because for whatever reason that day I was like, man, I just wouldn't mind, or at least having the hit, and I couldn't make it happen until when she wanted to use the restroom, we went. A straight up random mysterious man just happens to walk in with the freaking gym bag full of weed. Looks like a field he just ran and fucking grabbed his two hands and it's like he got whatever the hell he could get and put it in a bag and just bounced from there. You know what I mean? But I can't hate from what he did. I thank you a lot for that day. It tripped out the mother of my son, that's for sure. But it tripped me out, you know. It made me think like, hey, maybe there is a weed god, you know. But all jokes aside, but each to their own, you know. Stay grinding, stay focused on whatever it is that you're doing. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, keep grinding, alright? Much love and respect. Try to do more videos when I can. It's always stay busy, you know what I mean? And sometimes I just like to enjoy my personal life a little bit more nowadays. You know, everybody's growing older. So I don't want to miss certain moments. And thank you all for who tunes in. Thank you all for who follows, who subscribes. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Got a lot of content coming soon, whether it could be music, whether it could be me just telling little stories here and there, whether it's something you want me to tap on, would like for me to discuss, go ahead. I'd like to hear what's up, all right? I'm going to do something new here and there, but I don't want to say too much. I like to make things official once I get everything all ready to go. So, until then, much love, gente. Be safe. Stay grinding, all right? A ratos.